In this video, we're going to show you how to carve a pumpkin.
Into a jack-o'-lantern. Hi.
Hey everyone, welcome back to David's DIY Reviews. On this channel, we usually do a lot of woodworking builds, tool tutorials, and tool reviews. But today we're going to do a part 2 Halloween special, carving a pumpkin. So don't forget to subscribe for mostly, woodworking DIY content, but today it's carving a pumpkin. Let's get into it. So once you've got your pumpkin, obviously you're going to want a nice pumpkin, a round pumpkin. The first thing you're going to want to do is cut the lid off. And this is an important step because you're going to want to have a little triangle notch cut into your lid. So that way you can always put the lid on straight and it fits nice. So we'll go ahead, we'll start drawing our lid. And it's probably best to put that little notch at the back so you don't really see it. So we'll put a nice big triangle notch at the back, and we'll draw our lid all the way around. And guys, if you're just carving a pumpkin for the first time, maybe you don't have a pumpkin carving knife, you'd be amazed how much better an actual pumpkin carving knife works over a regular knife. And if you're looking for, some pumpkin equipment last minute, check in my description below. I've got links to all these pumpkin carving knives we're using and this scoop, which works really well. You can find some links below to order some stuff really quick in time for Halloween. So I've laid down some newspaper here to kind of, keep the mess at bay a little bit. And when you're cutting out your lid, you're going to want to cut in on an angle. If you cut straight down, the lid is going to fall in. So we'll go ahead, we'll start cutting out our lid. And like I say, cut on a bit of an angle like that. It's going to keep the lid from falling in, about a 45-degree angle. And we'll go ahead and we'll get that done, and we'll move on to emptying out all the seeds. So we've got that cut all the way around. We'll go ahead and pull it out. And then what you want to do is probably take your lid and kind of cut the excess thickness off of it. You don't need your lid to be quite that thick, so I'll just take a long knife for this and go ahead and cut that off right there. Just going to give it a nicer, kind of clean lid. That's right, it doesn't need to be smooth, you're right, because you're not going to see it. Tips from a storm right there. Now we'll move on to emptying out the guts, and that's the part you want to do, right? Alright, you got your scoop ready to go. Let's do it. So we're going to go ahead, and Storm's going to dig all these seeds out for us. So go ahead and start digging in there, Stormy, with your scoop. And a regular spoon will work for this really well. We can go ahead and use a pumpkin carving scoop, like I said, the link in the description below. And they work really well. As you can see, Storm is demonstrating how fun this is. Can I get in there and try a little bit? What you can do with these serrated edges is you really just carve on the sides, and then a lot's going to come out at once. So we've got our lid cut off. We've got the inside really nice and emptied out. The cleaner you get the inside, the better when you carve it. The less strings are going to hang down and all that type of stuff. And also, if you're going to use a tall candle, you might want to cut a little circle into the bottom so the candle won't tip over. But if you're using like a tea light, you can just set it in there. It'll be fine. So we'll go ahead and we'll start drawing the face on our pumpkin. Now you could, go ahead and pre-draw this on a piece of paper and trace it, or use a stencil. But I kind of usually just kind of wing it. And what kind of face do you think you want to do, Stormy? Angry face. Alright, so let's see what we can do for an angry face. We'll just kind of wing it, I think. See what we end up with. I'm not sure exactly how it'll be, but that's okay. Because you can always erase it and try it again.
So you can just do it.
You can do it once, you can do it twice, you can do it a million times to get it right. That's right.
That's so many times.
That's right. So we'll go ahead and finish drawing this up, and then we'll start carving it out. So we've got our face drawn on here. We've got a spooky, scary face. What do you think, Storm? Do you think it's scary?
Yeah.
You think it's scary? Perfect. So we'll go ahead. We'll start carving it out now. And you definitely want to be careful when you're carving. It's kind of the more difficult part to do. Just kind of poke your knife in. And unlike the lid, when you're carving the facial features, you want to cut nice and straight. what happens if you cut in on an angle in towards the object you're cutting out, you're going to end up with a hole on the inside that's smaller than the outside, and it's not going to look good. Not a lot of light's going to come through. So we'll keep carving out all these features, and we'll be right on our way. And what you want to do too is sometimes with a bigger feature you're cutting out, you don't necessarily want to push the whole piece out at once. Sometimes you might want to cut a chunk out of it, like cut down through the eye like this, and just take that piece out by itself, because as you can see, if you don't cut all the way, it kind of wants to hold itself in there, and you don't want to break pieces out. So we'll keep on cutting until we're done. And if you're doing something like eyebrows, like I've got eyebrows here, you can cut the slit, but you're not going to get a lot of light through. So what you can do is you can actually kind of angle your knife up and in, so that way you're cutting out, so that way the hole on the inside is a little bit bigger than the slit on the outside, and then you're going to get some light coming through. So you just kind of cut that little sliver out. It fell down, but you kind of just try to cut slivers out, so that way you'll get some light coming through. Storm can go ahead and throw everything in the garbage. What a perfect helper.
Got it.
Good job. And as you're cutting, if you happen to kind of go offline a little bit, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you're just kind of winging it. You're just kind of freestyling it. You just keep on going. Don't get down if you mess up one of your features. You can easily fix it. You can modify it. Do anything you want with it. You just keep on pressing through and finish it up. So we've got it all carved out here, and one thing you're going to want to do once you're done carving it out is all these kind of little strings hanging down in there. You're going to want to kind of get as much of them out as you can, because they're going to ruin the look. And also too, you can see here where I've kind of cut in and up, and it's kind of ruined the definition. So you can come in with your knife and you can kind of cut back the kind of inside part of the pumpkin, and that's going to open up the facial feature a little bit more for you, and it's going to look a little bit better. So you can kind of go around, find all the spots that maybe need to be opened up a bit more, and that's gonna really improve the look of your pumpkin once you get your light in there, your candle, or whatever it is you're gonna do. So there you go. I showed you how to carve a pumpkin. We got a really nice looking jack-o'-lantern here. Looks really good, nice and clean. And if you happen to be looking for more of a tutorial on carving a smaller pumpkin, because it's a little bit of a different technique, check out the video on the YouTube card above. I've got a piece of content there on carving a smaller pumpkin. It's really good, really useful. You're going to love it. You're going to love carving pumpkins. Really fun to do with your kids. Or if you don't have kids, you do it by yourself. And guys, Halloween is just around the corner. And let's all be safe. Keep your hands clean. If you're out with your kids, keep them clean. Keep them away from, things that everybody's going to be touching. And that's going to be it for today from me and Storm, David's DIY Reviews. Check me out in the next video.